David Heurtel in for Elias, who will be back on Monday. Quebec Labour Minister Jean Boulet says that a resolution has been reached in the months-long standoff between workers and management at Notre-Dame-des-Neiges Cemetery. A months-long labor dispute appears to be drawing to a close, but the news provides little comfort for families desperate to visit their loved ones. Paul Caghassi is a spokesperson for l'Association pour la défense des droits des défunts et des familles du Cimetière Notre-Dame-des-Neiges. Welcome back to the show, Paul.
Hello, David. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Well, we're a little, it's a good news, and it's a step in the right direction. As you know, at this point, Mr. Boulet announced that there is a resolution, but this resolution needs to be voted on Wednesday. So we are not completely out of the process. So we're going to be looking and see how this will be resolved.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting, Paul. So to be clear, so a deal has been signed by the parties, but the union, that's it. So the executive of the union has signed a deal with the administration of the cemetery, but now the union members have to ratify it with a vote, and that's on Wednesday?
Exactly. Yeah.
And if let's just say if the members ratify the agreement, do you know when the cemetery would actually reopen?
Well, we have no news about it.
Nothing.
But by experience, I can tell you it's going to take some time to clean up the mess we've been watching for the last 5 months, and also the bottleneck of the bodies in the fridge.
Right.
So it is, in my case, it was in 2007. It took almost 2 months to bury my mother after the resume to work. So
2 months? It took 2 months for things to get somewhat back to normal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So how many bodies are currently stored in freezers?
Well, again, we don't have all the information. We suspect between 350 to 450. So depending on, and I assume some bodies are still waiting at the funeral homes as well. So in my opinion, we're going to have a bottleneck to deal with.
Oh my goodness. And so there's no hope for this weekend, for Father's Day weekend, to see the cemetery reopen. I know there was some controversy because they tried to reopen for Mother's Day, and they did, but it seems that it might not be the case this time for Father's Day.
Well, yes, and the cemetery did send a press release saying it's going to be closed. I mean, as you know, the Mother's Day was a mess. So obviously, they don't want to repeat the same misorganization they've been having to receive families. But you know that it's a very dangerous situation. Some of the families are sneaking in through the grills, through the fences. So, I mean, it is still a very difficult situation to deal with. So we're not celebrating yet, and we will not be celebrating any victory.
No, well, there's nothing to celebrate, actually. Yeah, there's relief that it's finally over, but as you said, one, there has to be ratification by the union members, and then, as you said, there's going to be a long period of time to adjust with all the backlog before and the cleanup before the cemetery can resume normal operations. So, Paul, I have to ask you, now that there seems to be light at the end of the tunnel, what lessons need to be learned about this? I mean, I was talking on the Big Five this morning. I mean, do we have to look at burial services, cemeteries, funeral homes as an essential service? Would that be the solution? I mean, how do we move on? Because now, as you said, this is the second time in less than I'm sorry, it's the third time?
Third time, yes.
Third time in what, 15, 20 years?
In around 25 years.
Third time in 25 years we go through this just for this cemetery. So, I mean, what should be the solutions?
Well, the solution should be, yes, essential service, but in the meantime, and I want to highlight to you, David, that in the same area, in the same Mont-Royal area, there is another cemetery which do not have those type of problems. So what I would like to highlight is that it's not a question only of a law. It's the management of the cemetery who is deficient. They've been going through general matters every 2 years. How could you build trust with your employee by having new managers every second year. So there's a question of management, a question of responsibility of the church running this cemetery. But in a large scale, yes, I think burying is a very special process and should be an essential service. So we should, in a way, protect the employee and the management by giving them other tools to negotiate, other tools to do it. And you know that there was a big debate about essential service 3-4 years ago, and the law for the service funéraire did stipulate that after the 15, you cannot keep bodies in the fridge as a way to overcome this essential service thing. We're in a northern country, and yes, from time to time we have to keep bodies in because of the condition of the like in the ice storm and so on, but not as a tool to impose on families and on your workers conditions. So I do believe at this point there is a big problem with the management of the cemetery.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
The only cemetery in North America, in Canada, was going through that. And if there is some problems, it will take 1 day, 2 days, not 6 months, not 9 months.
And the government has to enforce the law, too. The law was not enforced in this case, correct?
Exactly. Well, it was not enforced officially, in my opinion, but maybe Mr. Boulay did waive and did use what he had to get to this deal.
As leverage, to bring the parties together.
Yeah. So Mr. Boulay might have done something behind the scene, which is okay. I mean, he has a job to do. And I mean, if we have this deal, he would have done his job, but I would have liked to have this job done much more faster. Yes.
So as previously said, you're the spokesperson for the association that represents the families. How are they doing? I mean, how are these families coping with this whole drama?
Well, as you know, they've been suffering for the last 5 months. Now, the news of yesterday is a release. They are now breathing, but at this point, they're also preparing for another grieving process. Right? So for now, it's almost you lost your loved ones twice. So they're going to have to go through the process. I went myself through the process. It's a long process. They're going to have to go through it's like somebody's dying twice.
Oh, my goodness.
So it is difficult. They're going to be going through a difficult time, but I think they're going to be getting help from the cemetery and from the funeral houses. I did get some help in the past when it happened, but it's still a very, very difficult process to go through. But it's a relief today that we know that there is a plan to resolve it.
So, Paul, are you saying that there will be like counseling resources and accompaniment for the families?
Yes, I hope so, and I think the cemetery will have to do that. It's part of the responsibility to do it as well. Yeah.
Any word from? Have you heard anything regarding the government and if they plan on changing the law or changing the way these types of situations are managed?
Well, at this point, I think Mr. Boulay was focusing on resolving the existing issue. At the association, we have plans to continue this discussion at all levels, including, obviously, the government, and see how we can resolve this for the long time. Now, I did try to connect with the church, but there is no answer back. So I think the church and the Monsignor Lépine should have been involved from day one, and he was very silent. So it's very, very noisy silent, put this way.
Yeah, the church's silence was very troubling throughout. Absolutely. Look, Paul, this is all the time I have. We've spoken several times during this ordeal. As always, I appreciate your time, and of course, I wish you and the families all the best moving forward.
Many thanks for your support, Mr. Heurtel, and we really appreciated your interest in this ordeal we've been going through.
All right, send our best to the families.
Will do.
Paul Caghassi, spokesperson for the ADDDF, l'Association pour la défense des droits des défunts et des familles du cimetière Notre-Dame-des-Neiges, Notre-Dame-des-Neiges Cemetery.